Now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network on a Tuesday. That's right. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there is D-Mac, Darren McCarty. You know him by. Something big happened 25 years ago today. We will discuss coming up in just a little bit. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter here in the building as well. A whole lot of people getting the bag. D-Mac, as we talked about 25 years ago today. And in a related story, the next segment, I have to come clean to you, D-Mac. As a friend, as a fan of your team growing up, I have to come clean. Really? I do. And I have an apology for you coming up in about 13 minutes. I do, yeah, 100%.
Is it, wow, this sounds like it's one of those things that is better late than never.
Better late than never, okay, exactly.
Good.
We've been friends a long time, going on a decade of being friends.
And this is something that we've
never discussed.
Wow.
We've never discussed, and I'm going to come clean, and we'll do that in about 12 minutes or so. But we are happy to have you along for the ride today. You can tap in on the YouTube channel, get your thoughts and everything up there that you want to discuss. You'll get your points out there. Some of the good ones we'll read. Some of the bad ones we'll read. We'll do polls from time to time, and that is how we will do it. But Sam Flannel here, as we said, in the building. He has the flannel rocking. How many days consecutive of flannel?
This would be 71.
It's a black,
yes, I believe.
That's a black flannel?
Yeah, it's a new one. It's one of the new short sleeve ones that I got recently.
For summer.
Oh, yes.
Leveling up.
He's a man of the seasons. There is no question about it. But we are happy to have you guys with us here today. And, there's a lot for us to get into, certainly for a Tuesday. The bag will take center stage. We are going to talk a little bit of golf. You say, Neal, how can we talk a little bit of golf? Because money's involved. So we're going to talk about it. And I'm curious to get the temperature of where some people are at with it, because I saw some concerning things on social media when Dustin Johnson this morning announced that he's foregoing the PGA Tour to play exclusively for the Live Tour, which is Saudi-backed, I guess. So there's a lot of discussion about that. But we will discuss that. And, also, too, last night, or yesterday afternoon, as it were, Michigan baseball ended up falling to Louisville. And I wanted to address it. And it's not a whole segment thing, D-Mac. I just wanted to express my condolences for those big-time Michigan baseball fans. That pop their head up right around this time every single year when Michigan's playing in a regional or something. When our guy Brad Galley puts out a post about Michigan playing in the baseball regionals, and 7,000 Michigan baseball fans pop out of nowhere, although only 100 people go to their baseball games. But they're longtime fans. It was some shattered dreams yesterday when they lost to Louisville, D-Mac.
Well, I mean, I think that when it comes to fandom of universities, what's hot at different times, and I think expectations for me, Brandon Inge, former third baseman and coach for the team, is a friend of mine. So my condolences in losing to him, and it was tough. But I revert to the booth, to our Slappy, and he's not really a sloppy Michigan guy, right? Maz is a sloppy sports fan, right? Where his heart will supersede his brain. What I like about Sam Flannel, especially when it comes to Michigan, is he stands in that booth, and you can take shots or whatever like this, but he stands by his convictions. So Sam, I mean, to Neal's point, trying to say, I think that's sort of baseball's not the major sport in college that people watch, but if you're a fan of the university at certain times of year, your fandom gets on. So is that how you look at it? I think maybe sometimes we put a microphone on how overexcited. Now it's tough the way that they went out because they came back hitting four dingers and then they gave up 4 runs in the 8th. But I will revert to you on this Michigan topic when it comes to the fans. What do you say to what Neal had to say there?
First off, you guys are very fortunate I came into work today because I was so heartbroken.
We're always
over that
fortunate
loss.
every single day that you show up for work, Sam Flannel. Every day.
You should have seen the crap show it was when you were gone, bro. When you were out on your peyote trip.
They had fishes right over there.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, I don't usually tap in until the College World Series if they make it that far. And same with softball, to be honest.
Oh.
I can't tap in and be really invested in this team because I'll be honest, I don't watch regular season games. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel invested.
Sam Flannel, no other Michigan fans do either, so don't worry about it. But then all of a sudden it's, as Born Cool says, the refs were paid by Louisville. Well, they're umpires in baseball. I know it's a new fan base to college baseball, but that's the thing, right? Especially when Michigan plays Louisville in something, that's the way that they're going to be.
Yeah.
But Sam Flannel, it's okay, my friend. At least you're honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch regular season college baseball games. Maybe I should try next year, though, because that's the only way that I personally can be invested in a team is if I've actually watched their games. Some other Michigan fans, I mean, let's be honest. We want championships really bad because we're starved. We've had a couple of, national title game runs where we've lost in basketball. And then last year, a Big Ten championship, but of course we got demolished in the first round by Georgia. And then before that, a long period of mediocrity. So we're kind of starved. I understand Michigan fans wanting to get behind something that's a winner, like in baseball and softball. They have a pretty good program. But unless they make it to the College World Series, I'm just kind of like, I'll watch something else.
All right. Well, it's one of those things where I just wanted to point it out. Chuck Brewer says, Michigan baseball fan back to the Jim Abbott days, but no excuses, have to overcome. Let me see here. Where was it? Lit Angle says, here comes Michigan State Neal. If you think the Louisville runner was safe, you should be an umpire. Well, Lit Angles, I would say, how about try this? Don't give up 31 runs in 2 games to Louisville. And I know the Michigan fan, like that's their default, is they're going to go back to it and say, well, he was clearly out. Who's to say, based on what logic would you think that pitching staff was going to stop Louisville from scoring again? They did score 31 runs in 2 games, Sam Flannel.
Oh, yeah, and there's always something you can do to avoid situations where you need a questionable call to win. There's always something you can do to avoid that. So I'm never one, whether it's Michigan, whether it's any of my teams, to revert to the whole, the refs cost us the game. That's just not how I roll, and I don't think Michigan fans should be doing that.
And Rack says on our YouTube chat thread, I honestly have always followed Michigan baseball, but I will agree the overreaction by postseason fans is a bit ridiculous. And that's the point. That's the point of the discussion, D-Mac, for me. It's just that, well, I poke fun and I laugh.
You like that face because it was like, come on, man, save that face for your national championship game or your final, your Final Four game or something like that. It's just a little overreaction. It's unfortunate. You always like to see, I don't care who it is, the local teams do good, but to Sam's point, I think that when there's more invested, like we get to the tournament, and but to Neal, to your point, like these are small football games. These scores in these college games, like we were talking about, I see more double-digit runs. I mean,
it's crazy.
That's not baseball.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what the answer. I mean, I think we know what the answer is too. Like maybe we got to go to the wood bat or something like that. I mean, you got these games out here. We saw them yesterday, 22-15 and stuff like that. It's not baseball.
It's crazy. That's like, we're talking about, the NHL playoffs and, the series that wrapped up Colorado and the or Edmonton and Colorado, and they had some for 2022 NHL hockey, the 6-5 overtime games, the 8-6 games, stuff like this. That's way high scoring for NHL. This is like ridiculous. Like to me it is. It's something you don't have some football games that get there.
Right.
There's some football teams that can't reach what their baseball teams can reach in runs.
It is unbelievable.
And
that was my point. And so, like, for the here comes Michigan State Neal thing. No, it's a Oakland Neal thing. And by the way, Oakland got their share of runs against Michigan this year too when they beat them 14-7. So this isn't something new, to Michigan baseball. So for those guys like Sam Flannel that are on board the whole season long, he knows that Michigan had their pitching issues all year long, and it was just a matter of time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can personally, comfortably say I've never watched a Michigan State baseball game, and I'm not going to pretend and say that I did. If they went to, a College World Series, yeah, I'd be rooting for them, but I wouldn't be heartbroken if they lost in the College World Series. Like, I'm not that worried about it.
No, I laugh because Joseph Austin says Neal does not like Michigan. No, like it's not that at all. Again, I'll always DMAC. I always have to go back and qualify this. I have friends on the coaching staff of the basketball team. I want them to do well. They are my friends. That's a definition of friendship. You want to see people succeed. I want them to succeed. It's just I think it's funny that
I think that it is, because I think Koke says that college baseball is basically arena baseball.
It is. It's absurd.
With the rules and stuff like this. So how do you not only get behind, sort of get behind it? I think you're just making the point that, everybody flocks out to a little bit early. And Sam Flanner was saying, guys, just wait till you get to the World Series at least, and you don't have to be disappointed. He almost had to miss work today. He said that.
He was devastated, but he got it all together. People want to know, Spence, who's stalking behind you there. That's what they want to know.
This is our boy. He's in here. I'm training him. He's looking to be a new TD at the network. So, yeah, we're gonna get him.
All the touchdowns we can get around
just a
here.
torso. Yeah, obviously he's 6'12", so you can't really see him that well behind me. But yeah, we're getting in here. We're showing him the ropes.
Yeah, big time, man.
Yeah.
Big time, making moves. The Oilers were swept out of the playoffs yesterday as they colossally collapsed. Somebody in here had some McJesus slander. I forget. It moved through too fast. We're not having that here. He had a goal, 2 assists yesterday. I mean, what's the guy supposed to do?
What did it come down to, Neal? What did I say all along? What have I said the whole playoffs? And I said it surprised me, but in my opinion, Mike Smith wasn't the goaltender that there was always going to be to get Edmonton what they needed. I think you look at the minutes, the time, stuff like this that Draisaitl and McDavid played and stuff like that. They gave everything they had. The whole team played well in front of them. But you know what the key? I tell you this, where DMAC was right, go back a few days where Antti Rantanen, right, that you don't hear about. You always hear about the McKinnons and the Makars and the Landeskog's but Rantanen, who had led their team with goals during the year and stuff like this, he's starting to get hot. And then the guy who scored the overtime goal, this goes to show you, looking at this Colorado team is, like we said before, this is something that the Wings are building towards and trying to do it in the right way with the money earlier, but the talent-wise. But you look at the pickup with Lehkonen that Joe Sakic did from Montreal and the term that he got him on, and that's what you pay for. That's when you go out and you get a guy in the acquisition, because for him to score that overtime goal yesterday to clinch to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, everything you put into that deal paid off right there.
Absolutely. The away fan is who it is. Says Mick overrated. Everybody says he's the best. More proof he's overhyped. The dude barely showed up in that series. I know Neal will try and rip me, but you all know it's the truth. Okay, bro.
I thought he was a million miles an hour, and I thought he played as well as he could. Production and stuff like this. It just goes to show you hockey's a team sport.
Ask Calgary. You need more than one line, right?
Hockey's a team sport.
Yeah, you do need more than one line. Speaking of hockey, as we discussed, it is the 25-year anniversary of a certain moment. I have to come clean to my friend, Darren McCarty, something we've never discussed before, but I have an apology for him when we come back after I tell you about the summer of Cintron, because it's here, and now Cintron available at your local Kroger store. Running a special right now. You can get 2 cans of Cintron for $4. Give it a try. That's all you got to do. Pushing the cart through there. Pick some up and give it a try. And you will find out immediately Cintron is a new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Red Wings, Detroit City FC. Cintron. And the summer of Cintron is now, everybody. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Bedrock and Rocket Mortgage have turned an old parking lot into a massive outdoor playground downtown right next to Campus Martius. They have roller skating, basketball courts, mini golf, food trucks, live music performances. There's art installations as well. I need to be more cultured. I need to take in a little more art, and I can do it down there at the Monroe Street Midway. It's a fun place to visit, whether you're on a date, out with the family, or hanging out before a Tigers game. They've even got Wi-Fi, so you can take your computer, your laptop, slide down there, and work in the heart of the city. Make sure this summer you check out the Monroe Street Midway, brought to you by Bedrock Detroit and Rocket Mortgage. Off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network from the Planet Fitness Studios. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac here in the house. And as we talked about before we went to the break, it is a 25-year anniversary of the 1997 Detroit Red Wings winning the Stanley Cup as they finally broke through and got the win. And, this guy over to the left of me, as we get a look at that squad, played certainly a big key in that. You see he's playing around with the bobbleheads.
I was going to show the cup right there. Yeah. But then I was see the cups on here, but
there it is. You got it.
But no, that's a different cup here because that's the wrong jersey.
That's the wrong jersey.
Yeah,
right.
We'll have to talk about.
You get them confused when you have four of them.
When that 25-year anniversary comes around, I'll show that one.
Okay.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yes, today, 25-year anniversary, first cup that we won in 1997, first time in 42 years, obviously. Fortunate enough to score the cup clincher, and the only time I beat one guy one-on-one my whole career. But what a day. Best part of that experience I'll never forget, and I talk about it on the Slapstick Comedy Tour all the time, is... people ask me my favorite Joe Louis Arena moment, and I always make a joke because my first Christmas card every year goes to Eric Lindros, and they're like, Eric Lindros, the captain for Philly? I go, yeah, well, he scored with like 15 seconds left to make my goal the winner, but my moment was face-off outside our zone with that 11 seconds left, and Yzerman, Shanahan, Lidstrom, Konstantinov, and Darren McCarty, the kid from Leamington, Ontario that grew up 40 minutes from there, had been a Wings fan when they were worse than they are now in the Dead Wing era, was on the ice for the final buzzer. And I remember because Stevie won the draw, and I was the furthest away. I was in the neutral zone. But when the buzzer went and the streamers came out of the stands, the guys came off the bench, the fans to their feet, Neal, from blue line to blue line, you go celebrate with the goalie. It was so loud in there. It was silence. It was like that.
Like white noise
to the blue line, and it's like, so it's like, like that. So I'll always remember it. That's what's burned into my head. And just the biggest thing, right, is the fact of what you start thinking about is it's not about yourself. It's about what it meant to get there and what you've done. And the I guess it was just what you've brought back to the city and what you've done together. And you just looking at everybody and you see that journey. So fortunate enough to have 4 cups, and they're all like kids. They have a different story to them, but the one definitely 25 years ago today was really special, especially being, the stepchild from across the border that scored the goal. So that you can't write it any better than that.
Tammy Chin says, I remember all the flags on the cars in 97, all the car horns going off. In our YouTube channel right now, the picture of Sergei Fedorov with the cup over his head, with the fans going crazy and everything like that. And that, D-Mac, like, obviously, because you meet the people and you've heard a million stories, and I'm sure people have met you and cried about it and all that kind of stuff. That was the thing to me, was just being over a buddy's house for like a watch party, and like Tammy was talking about, like people just going out to the streets, and everybody, I mean the whole city, just it was incredible because, and here's D-Mac, here's where it kind of comes full circle, because I teased this a little bit beforehand. I owe you an apology, that team an apology, because as I lived and died with the Red Wings through when I was a little kid, through the late 80s, through the 90s, because it was a big deal when the games were on Channel 50. Like right. it was you didn't get, it's not like it is now. My kids don't know, hey, turn the game on. Doesn't matter what game it is anywhere in the world. Just turn the game on. You had to gear up for a game on Channel 50 or listen to them on the radio at night and everything like that. Just lived and died with it. And for the organization that came from the Dead Wings to being in the Campbell Conference the Campbell Conference Finals, making basically the semifinals, running into Edmonton, right, with one of the greatest hockey dynasties of all time, and obviously not being able to get their way through that. And then you fast forward into the heartbreak of what happened against New Jersey, the San Jose Sharks series, all that stuff that went. You were there. I, as a fan, and this is where, you and I have known each other almost a decade, worked together, all that stuff. I owe you an apology, D-Mac, because I didn't think you guys were going to be able to do it. In my heart, I don't know if it was I was too hurt, from living and dying with it and being emotionally all in to thinking, Jesus Christ, this is just never going to happen. The New Jersey one broke me. It did. I'm not going to lie to you, man.
Well, the New Jersey one had to, You thought it broke you until the next year where you set the league record, 62 wins, and Colorado crushes you. That
one broke me again.
No, but that's the break. That's where you're going to quit. And you know what? There's so many people, and because we're sitting 25 years out from winning, and if you're around, I guess human nature is to let, I guess, how hard the blow is at the time, it softens. But the reality is Neal, that people bailed out, because here's the whole thing. The stuff that you're talking about, and we don't need to talk about it now because we will have to talk about it again with this Red Wings team in a few years, probably 2-3 years, when they get there, when they are the Edmonton Oilers, when they are the Calgary Flames that can get to the playoffs, and you have expectations to get to the Cup Finals and maybe have a shot. So back then, my question is, and this is a great poll question, right? And this is the one, to be honest, because it's okay, because I use this as where we talk about that mentality of that professional mentality versus the normal person. I think yesterday's question is that you have no choice but to succeed. There was you're going to, or you have to be committed to die trying. And when you're committed to 20 guys that way in that room, no matter what, that's what we had. That's why the March 26th bringing everything together was the caveat, the Hogwarts, Harry Potter, magic spell, whatever it was that brought everybody, not just a team, but everybody together. And this was the payoff, right? When this run had come, the regular season stuff and the revenge of drapes, but the fight, the battles, kept losing the battles, but we finally won a big battle that changed the war, right? As they say, you can lose the battles, but win the wars. And so I guess the question is it's okay. But to me, it's a great example of life, whether you've lived through it or you've had doubts against yourself or whatever else. You got to just keep moving forward, because it was either quit or get back on that, because you're so close. And so many teams.
That was the killer.
So many teams, right, get to this point in all sports. And, what if? Could have been. What if? What blows me away, the Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls. They did not win. Does that mean they weren't a great team? Does that mean they weren't the second best team every year? They just weren't good enough to get over the hump, but their greatness as a team. So that's a resilience too, where that fan base is still trying and keep going, right? So you have either a choice to either suck it up and keep getting up. Like I always say, it doesn't matter as long as you fall down, keep getting up. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but Neal, I don't think that, and you know what? That's allowed. Thank you for the apology. It's okay. I know there's so many more people out there that wouldn't admit that. But it's okay to admit it, to move out, because the minute you say, man, I can't do it anymore, these wings is this, and somebody else goes, no, man, we got to get together. Fans are just as important, right? In the stands, all that stuff, that's just as important because it pushes through. So there's levels to it. This was the payoff level, but never forget that thought process of, will we ever get there, right? So that's where... Yeah, and as a player, how can you not? Like, the worst thing is, and back to your point, when we lost to New Jersey, right? That wasn't the worst feeling, because we were young and we were looking down there and going, all right, we're going to get them next year.
You were still young enough to be dumb at that point, right?
Yeah. Until the next year when we set the league record, 62 wins, and lost Colorado, and went, oh my God, it's the worst feeling because we may never get back because we are this good. And nothing's guaranteed. So that's just a misnomer. Like, that's life.
Yeah, it is. We'll put that on the YouTube poll. Be honest. Did you really think that they were going to win?
It's a
be honest.
poll.
Be honest
it's
with D-Mac.
It's a D-Mac poll. So yeah. Be honest.
Be honest. Did you really think that they were going to get, in your heart of heart, did you think that they were going to actually do it? Because I'm honest about it. I did not. The New Jersey thing, that fractured me, and then the Colorado Avalanche deal the next year, that was a re-injury of the same area. You know what I'm saying? Like, the New Jersey thing was tearing your left ACL. The Colorado thing was rehabbing all year and then tearing your right ACL the next year. Like, I gave up on it, dude. I mean, obviously I still watched all the games and everything like that, but I had mentally prepared myself for the fact that it wasn't going to happen.
Right, where it's the negative. It's sort of like you knew there could be out, but you weren't going to get me again. You weren't going to fool me again. At least these teams here in Detroit, and the thing that kills me the most, for anybody who knows me, is like I'm a diehard Tiger fan first. So what they're doing, and it's just like I have to shut them off, so they don't give me a reason to have hope. The next level is when they're good enough to get there and win the expectations, and they show you and they lead you on this journey. But that's what sports is all about. So hopefully that's what the other three teams, the Pistons, the Lions, and the Red Wings, are working towards. Right. That's the next level, is what we're going to sit here talking about. Oh, my God, my heart's ripped out because we just experienced what Edmonton experienced.
Epic says Neal's a pessimist, so, of course, he didn't believe that. Hey, guy, I laid it down. Brad Holmes is going to win a playoff game here in Detroit with the Lions.
Yeah, absolutely.
He will absolutely lay it down. When we come back, though, I do want to get deeper into this. I want to know what that night was like.
You know what that night was like? That night's like every night when I'm at home right now, because you know why? Because I got Guardian Alarm. And Guardian Alarm keeps me safe, so it was like at the end of the day, finally got there, just like when you're laying your head down in bed. Guardian Alarm keeps you safe and gives you peace of mind, whether you're home or on the road. It's watching your home 24/7, all from the phone, no matter what. So if you want to be part of the Woodward Sports Big D Energy family, you can. But give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Again, for everybody in the back, come on. Be part of the Wings family. Don't be like Neal. You can believe. Believe in us. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out.
Flyers.
Get out of my house.
See you in Philadelphia.
You're doing a heck of a job. Sammy Flannel, 71 in a row, and a new black sleeveless. Stay tuned here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. Make sure you join the Pepper Club at Chili Peppers Tanning. You get all the best deals. As a matter of fact, they'll beat all competitors' prices by at least $5. They have the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans at Chili Peppers Tanning. 26 locations. More on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which of their 26 locations work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning. Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building talking the 25-year anniversary of a day that, quite frankly, I thought was never going to come. Just the level of being all in with Steve Yzerman, and when the Wings got to the Campbell Conference Finals against Edmonton and ran into that, whole buzzsaw that was the Edmonton Oilers, and then coming back but losing to the Sharks in the playoffs, then finally getting to the Stanley Cup Finals, but then losing to the Devils, and then Colorado happened, and it broke me, and I thought it was never going to happen, and we have it right now on our YouTube chat poll. D-Mac wants to know. He say, be honest, did you think the Wings would actually win the Cup? 72% say yes, 28% say no. They're a little more tried and true in their stance than I was at the time. I just didn't think it was going to happen. And D-Mac, I'll say this too. As far as that time frame, you had the Pistons, you had you guys. We paid dearly for the championships we got here in that town over that time frame, with what happened to the Pistons running into the Celtics, the steal by Bird, the phantom foul call against Lambeer, then you guys with everything that I just outlined too. Every championship that we got as a fan base here in Detroit, man, we earned those things 20 times over. Jesus Christ, man, it was a grind.
No, it definitely was. But that's what everything, I guess, in sports, and especially here, it's the Detroit versus everything mentality, the grind, that nothing comes easy. You got to earn everything you get, and it's not going to be the same thing. So that's why it's so important to put the foundation, the culture together, and like how I look at the Red Wing organization, what Stevie's doing is a lot of the stuff that was done back in the early to mid 90s in order to solidify, to allow us to be able to win. One thing is, all you can do is put the best possible team that you think on the ice, and then let it fall where you may. We're talking about Michigan, and the guy was safe, and this, and the game plays. Then the game has to play itself. You just got to consistently keep putting the right things out there, and I think there's signs to if you're going to do it. And the frustrating thing in sports is usually there's not just one. It used to be, in most sports, there's a couple teams that could win it every year, and that's why you saw the dominance. That's not the way it is. The parity in every league has spread around, whether it's salary caps or not, or this, that, and the other thing. So it gives you an opportunity to be good, to win, so it's setting up that way. But we're in, listen, not just hockey or whatever, we're in for the devastation. What's the recent devastation that hurt the most? The Tigers, probably, right?
Yeah.
The Tigers, whether it's San Fran or St. Louis, whatever you want, that one hurt recently. Now, we haven't been hurt recently, so all the scars to remind us have healed up a little bit more. So they're going to have to puncture a little bit deeper when somebody gets back there to get us. But it'll be fresh again. It's days like today. It's days like today that I can't believe it's 25 years ago. But that's you should mark it. And when I say Destinations Oasis about the journey, this is a journey moment where we all know where we were. Take a deep breath, and because we did do it. We all did it. You cheered, and those blood, sweat, tears, and whatever it was, or whatever you broke because you were so mad about this and that, along the way, it paid off.
Rack says, I was 12, so of course I thought they were going to win. They were the greatest thing to happen to me in my life at that point. The away fan says, I had faith. I was a kid, and I was a kid too, and I don't know, I was broken. Chuck says, Jersey broke me, but they came back strong, so I never lost hope again. And I'm just being honest with everybody. E. Schaffer says, yes, I believed. So, there were the people in there. Neal Ruhl, Second Furnace, says, I was only 8, so how was I supposed to know? I was a teenager at that time, so that's probably the difference in the age as far as it goes. So, it's one of those things where, yeah, man, I couldn't take it anymore. And you would think after going through the whole Pistons thing, if you could survive that, you could survive anything. But it did. I wanted the Red Wings to win so bad, man, because, and it was a lot like the Pistons thing, because it was Edmonton and then Pittsburgh with Mario. You know what I'm saying?
But it was also, too, like the Pistons thing where it felt like the league didn't want you to win.
Exactly, because it was Boston and Chicago and the Lakers.
In that aspect, and for us, because we were the United Nations. Nobody wanted to allow the United Nations to win, because that was always the knock. Well, you're not tough enough because you got the Europeans and stuff like that. So
yeah, and that's where it was. So I have a twofold question that I wanted to ask you, D-Mac, in regards to this. I'm going to ask you about the night because I'm into that kind of stuff. I will. I'm going to ask you about the night, but I also want to know the team and as it was constructed. Was it just as simple as getting the Russians going into Europe? Because that's obviously what keyed the sustainability, I think, of the dynasty was the European scouting and being the first to do that and everything like that. Obviously, you hit on some draft picks yourself and a couple of the others. But the Russians and Fedorov and that level of talent that you guys got, was it the Russian thing that put it over the edge?
No, it's the draft. It's the Hawk and Anderson. It's Ken Holland back before being GM. It's the draft that was put together and going out and taking the chance of getting the Sergei Fedorov, right? Taking the chance with the Russian in the draft. Where if you watch the Russia 5 documentary, where you drafted Sergei in like the 4th round that year, right? Then the Konstantinov late. This is back in the Cold War. You never expecting to get them, so like it was looked at as wasted. Then you come back, and what do you get? You get a Lidstrom late. I mean, you get your Lidstrom late. Then you come back the next year, you get out of a car accident, Slava Kozlov, right in the 3rd round, which was supposed to be projected because we're 72-year bursts. He was like best 72 in the world till he got in a car accident, but they still take him in the 3rd round. Marty Lapointe, myself, it was built in the little later rounds, but when you get your Nick Lidstrom, arguably the greatest goalie of all time, your later on your Henrik Zetterbergs, but your Thomas Holmstroms, you're building stuff like this, but your Sergei Fedorov's late, your Kazis, that's what it was, and then you solidify it. And so you draft Fedorov, Kozlov, Konstantinov, and you not only draft them, you get them over here. Here's the great thing to draft somebody, but the availability, right? And then you drafted the Lidstroms, right, that have come over in the late round for Sweden to develop. And you see this all come together. The turnkey key in it was bringing over Igor and Slava. That culturally sets that. You look at in the Swedish, you look with Nick, you got Thomas Sandstrom come over. You had Freddie Olsson into the mix and stuff like this. It started being that way. So the caveat is Hawk and Anderson, the scouting staff, of getting guys, but getting them over. Neal, you always talk about availability. It's one thing to draft. A lot of guys drafted Russian guys and got Detroit set the trend, right? Had drafted Russian guys early. Then other teams would do it. Then the Swedes. And then all this, now it's in Germany and stuff like this. So it was a recipe. And Scotty was the cook. So he knew he needed to add, I got to add a Larionov because it's going to help you. Oh, but then I got to go add a Fetisov. We don't know all this. That's why you have to trust in who's putting the recipe together. Scotty Bowman put our meal together, our recipe to that. Steve Eisenman's doing it now. They read out the same cookbook. It's out of the same cookbook.
Same recipes.
And it's about talent and finding talented players to play roles.
Dom Rivera 88 says, I never knew we got the Russians in the 3rd and 4th rounds and stuff like that. That's insane. And yeah, Dom, again, going back to what D-Mac talked about, it was one thing. You drafted them at that time because there was no way you were going to be able to get them. And YT Sparty says that was back when Russia didn't suck so much. Well, YT Sparty, you still had to go get them though, and that was a process in and of itself. Land the plane. Hurry up, get him on the plane, boom, plane takes off, and you go back to America. That's essentially what it was.
Well, you see where had we seen where guys, the big thing was defecting. They had to defect, so it'd be their Russian team would be playing, or the Czechoslovakia, all the communist countries, in a non-communist tournament, and you'd have to go in and go see the Russian 5 documentary if you want to see how it's done, because talking about money in the bag and different things like that, like the way that things were done 35 years ago was a little bit different. But the big thing is Neal, the difference is when you look at it, is doing what needed to be done to get these guys here. So it was pretty much a 10-year process, not an 8-year project from drafting to getting them there. It's crazy how it works, how it has to fall into place. But the rules are a little bit different now.
Yes.
That was before NIL.
that was
before NIL.
That was a different time.
Sports. That's what it was like, though, right? In the like, if you
to
watch
some degree,
Russian
right?
5 and there was the great artistry about Jimmy Devellano holding the bag of money. And not like Nick Saban allegedly holding the bag of money? Or?
This is such a great documentary.
It is. It is, no doubt. Neal Ruhl, Second Furnace says, well, that's because we didn't have easy scouting in Europe back then, which is true.
That's a good point.
Now we do. So now we're set to roll. Just like summer's set to roll at Big Boy because it's Strawberry Fest. They brought back the classic breakfast items, the strawberry French toast, the strawberry pancakes. I'm sorry, Big Boy, but I'm calling them the strawberry pancakes, even though it says hot cakes on the script. We know it's strawberry pancakes. And, of course, the official breakfast of Spencer Raxter. That is the strawberry waffle. 2, please. That's how he rolls. If you're not feeling breakfast, try a new strawberry bacon chicken wrap. I had that. It was excelente. The crispy chicken wrap or the nacho wrap, or, of course, the strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. Don't forget to grab dessert. A slice of strawberry pie is just $1.99 when you spend $7.99 or more at Big Boy. It would be financially irresponsible and nonsensical of you to not take advantage of the $1.99 slice of strawberry pie, because it's a slice of strawberry pie for $1.99. That's 8 quarters, everybody. What are we talking about here? Why would you not get that? I digress. It's Strawberry Fest, available at participating Big Boy locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. D-Max got a chuckle on his face. All right, and
strawberries and everything at Big Boy. Let's go.
Here's what I want to know about D. And I know we're stretching this out a little bit, but it's 25-year anniversary of the first Stanley Cup in 42 years. I'll talk. Don't threaten me. I'll make this a documentary about that. Like, I can do that on command. Here's what I got to know about D-Mac. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, by the way, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter in the building. That night, obviously you described the electricity on the ice and everything like that. You guys do your bit. You get the cup. You skate around. You get back to the locker room. You're drinking out of the cup and everything like that.
Okay, so... And a couple things come to mind, all right?
Take me through the night. Go.
Well, just first, the first comes to mind, right? Because, you're celebrating, obviously, Stevie gets it, gives it to Mr. I, stuff like this. First thing, if you have a 1997 Stanley Cup hat. Let me just say, how do I know not that they weren't prepared, but they hadn't won in 42 years? Because probably, I mean, if you're a boater or a yachtsman, now this is the hat where it's brown and it's got the brown felt.
Velour. Yeah.
Velour. Now, it's
I always
great
thought that hat was
25
trash.
years later because it's the best one to sign on for a collector's item, but really missed the boat. Right, the next year they went to the black and gray the next year, which I'd rock that one. Then they went to the white
sweet.
one, and then they were fine. But the hat was just like, and then they put the boat thing on the back. Like, you gotta at least have a snapback or something. You can't have that. You know the one I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, so missed with that. But this is at old Joe Louis Arena. So this is in the old locker room before it was redone. Right, Neal? Which, I don't know if you were ever in the old locker room. There's no room. Now, literally, if you're claustrophobic, you couldn't go in this dressing room because there's more people. Now, all you have to do is go look back at Ray Lane and the Channel 50 or the telecast from the locker room. So they had in the middle of the room, which literally, like, no word of a lie, probably twice as much space as what we have in the studio here. So there's not much. But in the middle of the room, there's a platform, right? So that's where they're doing, hey, guys, come on up and stuff like this. So the stalls are all around, but you got everybody there. Now, there's everybody. Like, you're trying to get your family in, you know, your parents and grandparents. That's cool and stuff like this. But, like, there was no security. There was nothing. I had buddies that I'd seen sneaking in that, you know, like guys that are like sitting in the corner drinking beer, everybody, but it was a party, right? And the champagne's going all over the place. The guys are excited. It was just one of those things, Neal, where it wasn't like, what's he doing here? It's just like, oh, he's here and he's here and this. And so that was so enjoyable as far as that. And then, So that's where it was, and the best, dude. If it wasn't every time Ray Lane opened his mouth, and then it's like, because we all love Ray Lane and stuff like this, but it'd be coming out to either give him a drink or guys would be like spraying him in the face, Razor, you know, like this, and he loved it. So the party in the room was hot. It was, you know, sticky. It was a mess. It went on for probably an hour and a half or 2 hours. Then it started winding out and. You know,
and this is the part of the story that I'm interested in now, where
then where to go?
The corporate stuff's over.
Oh, then
now we kind of break off. Now we're going to the after parties. Now the guys are getting. Where are we going?
I had the after party set at Big Daddy's, which was the old Big Daddy's in West Bloomfield. So everybody was going there. That we had it set up before that if we won, then we were going to go there. So that was the best part. So we all go to into West Bloomfield. Big Daddy's was just north of Maple and Orchard Lake. And so we're all there. And then, you know, we got the police escorts and then everybody knows that we're coming. And it was a great time. And this is the best part that I remember because just FYI, me being the alcoholic, but me being sober for all these cup runs is that I never drank out of the cup like the guys, and I'd pass it around and I'd, you know, fill it up and do all that, and that was cool. When it came around to my time at the restaurant or whatever, the boys cleaned it out. You know, like got in the back, cleaned it out, and then filled it with like Coke for me or whatever. And when it was my turn, and then cleaned it out again and went back. But it was like that moment. They took like 10 minutes when it came around, and that was really, really special. Like. Part of the bond, but we partied there till here's you'll appreciate this caveat. We were probably there. Well, I left about 5:30 because me and my father-in-law and a couple of buddies had a tea time at Birmingham. First tea time at 6:50 that morning. Driver 5-wood, 40-footer, 3. First hole after scoring the goal, I was like, don't mess with me today. Didn't continue to go that well. I played all right that day, but I made eagle off of scoring my greatest shots, Neal, back to back was scoring that goal and then making eagle on number 1 on Birmingham about 8 hours later. That's the caveat. So
you love golf, man. Damn, do you love golf?
I like even before. Even more. Yeah, I do. I love the mental because it's the battle within the self. So everybody did their own thing or whatever, and then we'd regroup and we'd get together that night, and then, you know, a couple days later we'd get together as a team to say goodbye, and then the accident happened. So
yeah, and we do remember that dynamic as well. So I mean, it's just, I just didn't think it was going to happen. And updating our YouTube chat poll, DMAC wants to know, he says, be honest, did you think the Red Wings would actually win the Stanley Cup? 65% of you say yes, 36% of you say no. And I'm one of the 36%, man, because I was broken. I was broke. The New Jersey thing, man. I would like to meet the person that bet money on the New Jersey Devils in that series. I would like to meet them because I'm convinced there's not one out there. There couldn't have. What rationale would you have for betting on the New Jersey Devils in that series? That's incredible to me. But you know, we're just kind of reliving that night a little bit because it is a 25th anniversary of something that we didn't know if it was ever going to happen. But you know, I appreciate you, cutting up the stories and everything, man.
It's crazy that it's 25 years. It just goes to show you, days go by slow. Years go by quick.
Fast, yeah, and that certainly
enjoy the journey.
Is the case. What is it more? Because you always hear this with professional athletes. Was it more? This one might be a little different though, so I'm curious to your answer. Is it more excitement or is it more relief?
That's a great question. I think the initial one was relief. Your first emotion is, yeah. I think when you're trying to climb the mountain and then you fall, and it's just sort of, and it's the relief that in all reality, Neal, and thinking about the run is that I know I have years left. I think the big reality to all of us younger guys, we love Dino so much, Dino Ciccarelli, is that it gutted us a lot because when we realized his last shot was 96, right? Because we're all young and we're like, okay, like we realized we got gutted because, you have to play Colorado and it's going to be tough hockey-wise, but we're good enough. We're going to get another shot as guys got older, so you can't let it miss, right? So the relief of bringing it, like I automatically say the first thing you think about is everything else. You know what I'm saying? Everything else. Right, like that, like for Stevie, like all he's done, for Mr. Illich, for all that they've done. You're happy, you're able to be part of it, for doing it. Like, does that mentality make sense? And then you realize that, like, then it's like, oh yeah, we did some, because it still doesn't set in. It's what you set in together for everybody else, and to see the excitement, what it means to other people, right? And just the journey. So for me, it was just, I don't know if this makes sense or not, but it was always for the 12-year-old me, or always the little kid me, or the kid that never thought you could do it, or the one that wasn't supposed to make it but was still that fan, to separate the player from the fan, right? But to be able to do it both. We were very lucky because if you look at the way it was set up, right? So we had the different, and sometimes they call it cliques, but it's cores. So the core of me, Ozzy, Drapes, Maltz, Marty LaPointe, and then adding like Dandy and Ward, like the young guys. So we had our group where we would lean and talk and spend time with each other. How are we going to help this group, right? Even though we're all together, but it's our responsibility to bring the energy, to bring this and to bring that the old guys can't do for themselves because they're old. You get it?
No, 100%.
So the relief of all doing it together, the biggest part, Neal, you know what the biggest part? And Stevie said it. He says, no matter what, every year, like where one of his, here's a little bit behind one of his Jeff Hutton talks or whatever, like this, where he says, hey, no matter what, win, lose, this, that, we got this story. And only us, this group in here, can tell this story together. The story will always change because people always change. In and out. But at this moment in time, let's, do it, because no matter what, no matter where we go, no matter what we do, no matter how many years later. And as I'm talking to you 25 years later, he's so right. Like I tell you 99.9% of the time, right? It's that we still have it to this day, and it means so much, and it means differently, because now I realize all the 12-year-olds and the 15-year-olds are 40. All the 5-year-olds are 30. We're all in this together and now trying to paint the way. So, yeah.
Because that one will always be, as growing up as a kid, as a Red Wings fan, that one will always be my favorite. It will. Like it's not like Children or that one will always be my favorite because I thought it was never going to happen.
Mine too. Mine too. But I mean, that's local kids scoring. That's D-Mac's favorite one. Like because you don't know you're going to get it again, and it's because once you realized that you could do it, then the talent and everything else comes together to be able to sit with 4.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, thanks for that insight too, D-Mac, because look, a lot of sports media entities are going to talk about it today, but here at Woodward, we have the guy that was there that scored the game-winning goal, and it's cool to chop it up with you because I'm pretty lucky dude, man. I get to sit here and ask because I've wondered these questions for 20 years.
I'm a pretty lucky dude too. The big fella takes care of me and gives me some moments. So let's talk about those moments because there's only a couple big ones, but that's it. They're big.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're gonna have a big sports betting moment, you should do it at mybookie.com. The NBA Finals. They're rolling. The Stanley Cup Finals are halfway set. Colorado Avalanche probably going to be a pretty sizable favorite, I would think, in the series, whoever they play. Baseball is in midseason form. Tarek Skubal's on the mound. The Tigers are favorite tonight in Pittsburgh. Get it in, people. I'm just saying.
I guess those dreaded Pirates that just ruin the Pirates are the bane of your betting existence.
Well, yeah, that's right. They did ruin the Get Right special, but don't worry. We'll be back, everybody. We're still, 17 and 6, whatever that number is. Go to mybookie.com. When you sign up for a new account, use the promo code Woodward, and they will match part of your first deposit up to 50% in the form of free bets, so you have a little extra ammunition to make your way through the sports betting world. Again, use a promo code Woodward to get the bonus. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
We all know Cade should have been Rookie of the Year, but you know the saying, Detroit versus everybody.
Uh-oh, Cunningham all by himself.
Woodward Sports.
Ribbit. Yeah, you know D-Mac here, a frog. When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. That's Big Frog Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround. You can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Whether it's embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4BIG-FROG. That's 844-4BIG-FROG. bigfrog.com/Novi. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty. We just wrapped up that discussion on the 25th anniversary of the Red Wings' 1997 Stanley Cup Championship. Missed the show? No problem. Subscribe on the podcast page. Latest episode goes right to your phone. You don't have to do anything. If you want to relive it, D-Mac's very open and candid, as he always is about it. But I wanted to get some of the backstories because that's how I operate. I appreciate a good party as much as anybody. People are talking about parking lot liquor in the YouTube chat thread. Holler at me next time. Me and Spence will pull up. We'll pull up on you, will we not?
No doubt.
Yeah, we will. There's no question. We will roll through there. This story caught my eye. And look, I told you we're going to sprinkle in. We're going to limber up and loosen the muscles and stretch the hamstrings as we make our push through the summer and really get into the guts of football season. And I'm not being definitive with this yet. I'm going to save this till probably about the time preseason's over and we're rolling in. But I do want to get the temperature of the room. And you know we're going to go to our guy Sam Flannel on this because Sam Flannel has already laid it down in stone that Aidan Hutchinson will be the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He will be a Pro Bowler. He will have 12-plus sacks in the season this year. And according to a lot of people out there, the betting lines and stuff like that, Sam Flannel certainly is not alone the odds-on betting favorite to be NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Pro Football Focus ranked the top 5 edge rushers that are under 25 years old. And certainly Nick Bosa is going to head up that list. I don't think that's any great surprise. And there's not a lot of surprises as to the names on there. Rashawn Gary, Max Crosby, Chase Young, Brian Burns. And I think I know, I don't want to speak for Sam Flannel, but I'll ask the question, because you don't think it's if, Sam Flannel. When is he on this list of the top 5 pass rushers under 25 years old? Is it week 1? When is it?
It is definitely by the end of next year. I'm not going to go as far as say week 1, obviously, but if he doesn't end up on this list, it's a bad pick. You're not looking at superstars besides for Nick Bosa. You're looking at up and coming great young pass rushers like Rashawn Gary, Max Crosby, Chase Young, Brian Burns. You drafted Aidan Hutchinson at number 2. He should be as good, at least, as any of those guys, and I think he can be better than all of them except for Nick Bosa. But in my opinion, Nick Bosa is the best edge rusher in the NFL, even better than Myles Garrett, even better than TJ Watt. Nick Bosa is that dude. But other than him, Aidan Hutchinson, I think he can be better than all of the rest of them, and at least he has to end up on this list, because if he doesn't, it's a bad pick. And you're looking at the others, like I said, they're really, really good young pass rushers. But I believe that Aidan Hutchinson is also a really, really good young pass rusher. I think he's going to be better than these 4 as a rookie. And yeah, he definitely belongs on this, is going to belong on this list. He has to earn it, though.
I think, you know what?
Did he just threaten him?
Yeah.
I was told that he just threatened Aidan Hutchinson.
Look out, pass rushers.
I think he's allowed, though. It's that Michigan thing between Sammy Flannel. But I think Sam brings up a great point. If he's not in this conversation with this group of people, you made a mistake, right? Then he wasn't the right guy, because I agree with you, too, and he should be shooting to be the next Nick Bosa, if that's where you put it at. And that's okay to have somebody that's ahead of him, but he should be in the conversation. And at the end of the year, right, no matter is this fair to say, with that group of guys, what their production is stat-wise, if it's 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, well, then that's where Aidan Hutchinson should be in that area also, right? Those are the guys that you're going to aren't those the guys that you're going to compare Aidan Hutchinson's production against, right? If they're doing this, they're doing that. Now, with Bosa, he may be, because you think he's better, he's going to have a few higher. But the rest of the guys, I think, Sam, I think you're right there. We're going to give him that year. The year that we have left on the clock is going to explain. Now you're getting to see with this last year's game, there's so much more baggage. It's like the road trip. The longer the road trip, the more the station wagon is bringing home.
The family truckster's loaded up.
There's another bag in here, and there's another bag, and somebody picked up some bag of rocks or some shells or whatever. It gets more full by the end. So as this rest of the season, expectations as guys are getting good. So I think, Neal, I agree with Sam. It's fair, right? At the end of the season, to have this conversation, let's see what the production is. I'm willing to give the kid a year. He doesn't have to be the rookie of the year. He doesn't have to blow the doors up, but I got to see progress, and I got to see comparison where we see that he's in that conversation with those guys.
Man.
Gosh.
So what did I say that was so wrong a couple months ago that everybody got all pissed off about?
I don't know. I mean, putting a lot of pressure on the kid. I think, like Sam said, I think that's his ceiling this year.
He signed a contract now. He's a professional. You can't pick on amateurs.
Yeah, that's true.
Now you can pick on professionals.
He's inked now.
Sam and I waited until he was a professional to put expectations.
So that's the technicalities we're throwing around, even though it was a slotted contract that we all knew what it was going to be.
I heard. Am I wrong? Well, I could be wrong.
I was told it's threatening to have those kinds of expectations.
I recall that it was something to do with he hadn't even put a pen to a contract yet before you were threatening these kids. Was I right? I think I was right. That was you. We're just trying. Hey, Sam, good job in ironing it out so that Neal's point, maybe next time he'll pick on the men, not the boys.
Okay, Coquet in our YouTube chat thread. And let's wrap this one up here. Our previous poll, be honest, did you think the Red Wings would actually win the Cup in 1997? 61% of you say yes, 39% of you say no. So it was 60-40. It was good to see some honesty in there. Coquet in our YouTube chat thread said these are insane expectations.
No.
Let's put it up there. Are Sam Flannel's expectations of Hutchinson insane? Quote, insane.
And the expectations are being in the conversation, arguably with these guys. Because I didn't hear an Aaron Donald. I didn't hear Myles Garrett. I didn't hear the guys that, at the end of the day, that you've up there. I heard young, up and coming guys that are expected to do the job that, you mentioned Rashard Gary. Isn't that another Michigan dude?
Yeah.
Right? Like another guy. So these are guys that you should put. Do you think I think the poll, are the expectations too much to have that conversation?
See, I don't think it is, because like what Sam said, he is the number 2 pick. You're expecting him to be one of the best pass rushers under the age of 25. You're expecting this guy to make a potential case for Defensive Rookie of the Year. If not, you shouldn't have drafted him at 2. But I think he'll live up to those expectations. I think he knows those expectations. That's why you get drafted that high. That's why you get, you were a Heisman finalist. Like, this is what you're expected to do when you come into the NFL. He knows it. The Lions know it. He's going to go out there. He's going to prove it. And I don't expect him to get 12.5 sacks. If everything goes right and he's playing everything that's his ceiling in my eyes, I expect him more around the 9-10 range this year. But, yeah, I don't think the expectations are insane at all. These are expectations good football teams have for good players they draft high. So
Super Juggernaut 87 says Penei Sewell is making Hutchinson better. And that'll be a good one for later on in the year, because I think that Sewell is a gold jacket guy.
For sure.
When it's all said and done. Yeah. I'll be curious. We'll run that one later on in the year. Don't let me forget that. Who's got that? Who's going to be more?
Yeah.
Who's going to have the higher ceiling?
Iron sharpens iron, too, in practice.
Sure. And that should be the case. And, it's just, you guys will have to excuse me because I'm entertained by all this. Because when I say it, I'm threatening Aidan Hutchinson, and I'm a clown, and the video gets 500,000 views. All that stuff. Sam Flannel says it, and everyone's like, you know what? He's right. He's absolutely right. It's just funny how that stuff works.
Maybe it's just, maybe it's delivery. Maybe it's, it's the message just isn't there. But people just can't see through your hatred of Michigan.
It's definitely the delivery of things, because we know, this guy, he delivers things very well, and some people don't like that. But, yeah, I don't know. That whole thing kind of didn't make any sense to me, all the hate you got for that statement, because it's the same thing as Sam saying, the same thing we're going over now. We expect the number 2 draft pick to produce at a number 2 draft pick's level.
Well, you know what it is? It's like the guy that was over your shoulder there in Adam Baydoun.
Yeah.
I've got broad shoulders like I can take it.
You can carry it.
I can take it because my check's going to clear. So I can take that. Just like Adam Baydoun in his crusade against Al Avila.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to lead the charge, and that's the way it is. Morning Woodward show, by the way. Mornings right here, 8 to 10. That guy, Adam Baydoun, and Terry Foster as well. Brandon Katz says, without a push up the middle, there's zero chance Hutchinson will get to 12 sacks. He needs some help to get there. Your response, Sam Flannel?
I mean, I think he can get to 12 sacks. I think he's and you got a guy like Aleem McNeil, that'll provide a pretty good push. And yeah, Aidan Hutchinson, I think, is elitely talented. I think he's going to be the best player on that defensive line. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities. And even if he doesn't get to 12 sacks, let me just kind of parlay this into that. If he can't be as good as Rashawn Gary, Max Crosby, Chase Young, and Brian Burns, it's a bad pick. It's just a fact. Like I said before, these aren't superstars. These are young up-and-comers, just like Aidan Hutchinson is. I mean, Neal and Spencer, you guys, would you say that that's a pretty good comp, all 4 of these guys? He's got to be that at least?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying in YouTube chat, but you're the number 2 pick,
the
bro.
response is it's got to be as a unit. He's only as good as the rest of them are. He's not a one-man show and can't be. We can all agree, but a system guy, and with a year with the guys that the guys that were drafted last year, with some of the guys that were supposed to be Pasquale and all the rest of them, like they're putting a unit together. The one thing that I liked when you said about the Sewell and the Hutchinson is the age of these guys. There's like a year or two off of each other. They can grow. They're going to grow up together. They're going to challenge each other. It's got to be that competitiveness, right, on the field in practice to build this culture. So I look like the intangibles are also there.
Robert Closia in our YouTube chat thread's got a question for you, Sam Flannel. Will Aidan Hutchinson be better than Ben Wallace?
Absolutely. I mean, Ben Wallace is overrated, so...
You think Aidan Hutchinson's going to be a no-doubt Hall of Famer? 4-time Defensive Player of the Year?
Well, Ben Wallace isn't a no-doubt Hall of Famer, and Aidan Hutchinson will be a Hall of Famer, so that's
Will Aidan Hutchinson win Defensive Player of the Year
How
4
can
times?
you compare a basketball and a football guy, all right? So,
but these are the comps.
Woodward heavyweights, the fat boys on Woodward heavyweight. That's something that you guys would bring up.
It's not.
Save it for Sam on that is something. Hey, let's argue who's greater, a basketball guy and a football guy.
We've never done that.
Why do you even, Sam?
That is
I gotta
intriguing,
teach you how
though.
not even to entertain the idiocracy like that.
Let me tell you about Planet Fitness right now. $0 down, $10 a month. We'll get you a Planet Fitness membership with access to your home club. That's right. That's all it'll take. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. Over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses or Planet Fitni around the world. That's right. You can join in club. You're going to pass 2 of them on the way home, or you can jump on your computer, planetfitness.com. You can join right there as well. They're doing something pretty cool for high school kids as well. From May 19th to August 31st, if you're between the ages of 15 and 19, you can get a summertime pass to Planet Fitness and work out all summer long. Get you ready for that high school football season at Planet Fitness. It's Planet Fitness, D-Mac,
where your fitness is essential.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Boom! We gave you a winner yesterday. We're going to give you another one today, and we'll get to that here in a second. But first, you guys got to download oddstrader.com. It's the best place to check all the odds at all the sports books. It's got live scoring, play-by-play update, everything you need right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get back to that winner. We're going to roll with the Pirates today to beat our Tigers. I mean, Tigers one of the worst hitting teams against left-handed pitching. They only got 5 homers all year, major league worst. So we're going to roll with the Pirates tonight. Oddstrader.com, Woodward Bets. Check it out.
What's up, our friends at Alta Equipment? Know that when it comes to getting your job completed and on budget, on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment is partnered with the biggest names in construction. So with the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there's nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. Give Alta a call today, 844. Go to Alta today. That's 844. Go to Alta. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building. And as always, Sam Flannel seems to be...
Can I address something?
Stirring up the pot. Please do.
And thank you, Rick, because, yes, Sam Flannel sprinted by the... we had a talk during the break about his blasphemy to Ben Wallace, which I will not take. But, Rick, yes, he sprinted by because he was provoked... right, by the Woodward Heavyweights 1/2 team, who hit him with the stick on the leg, but he missed the cream pie coming around the corner. So I'm going to say, don't take the bait, Sammy, like that, but we got to be a little bit Ben Wallace. If you don't want to say something nice, you just have to say great defensive player, right, and hair and all that stuff and whatever it is, okay? So like Neal's Joe Dumars, but the same thing. So we can agree. He was provoked. You can't let him provoke you.
That wasn't me.
And
That
so
was
in
somebody in the
hockey,
chat.
right, you just retaliated and took that 2-minute penalty that put your team down, and you're going to sit in that box right now and feel shame because if they score at this juncture in the playoffs, right, feeling real bad. That's what just happened. Okay? So that's all good. But I appreciate your passion.
On our YouTube chat thread, Polaris Home, these guys will never give credit to anyone that played at Michigan, LOL. Give me an example, please. Please, Polaris, let me know. Let me know where I haven't given credit to somebody that deserves credit. Please. Please tell me. I look forward to your response. But yeah,
and here's the thing. Can you say the kid hasn't, to your point of fact of signing and moving on to the next level, we have not seen him at the new level playing for the Lions, so it's all speculation. So,
right.
I mean, you haven't said anything wrong, bad, this, whatever else.
I believe I go to Drake for comment on these things. We gonna see. Because there's nowhere to, we're going to do it now, guys. We are. We gonna see. And again, I'll also defer to Rick Ross for comment as well. And this is everybody, Michigan fan, non-Michigan fan. It's time now to
show us.
That's right, Rose.
Beautiful timing.
That's right, Rose. That's what it is. So that was great stuff there by Robert Colosia, and updating our YouTube chat poll are Sam Flannel's expectations of Hutchinson, quote, insane, and 70% of you say no, that they're not. I mean, that's 7 out of 10.
I'm actually surprised that 70% think that they're insane because my expectations are not even that huge. I wanted them to be. I mean, my personal expectations are 12 sacks, Pro Bowl, defensive rookie of the year, but at least to be on that list, that's what we were talking about. To be on the list with Brian Burns, Rashawn Gary, Max Crosby, Chase Young. If he's not, it's a bad pick. So that tells you that the expectations are not too high.
Yes, I agree with Sam on that. I don't understand how 31% of the people think that saying the number 2 overall pick should be one of the best pass rushers under 25 is insane. That's what you should expect from him. You should have high expectations from him. He was drafted number 2 overall. He's supposed to be good. Like, how is that insane?
No, it's supposed to be great.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh, boy. Super juggernaut Brian Burns had 7.5 sacks his rookie year. Detroit Dabber, 313. The 2 fat boys, goddamn, D-Mac. That's a Terry Foster line, by the way.
I am only calling him what it's already been called himself. That's the T-Foss's. Is it? Can you confirm nor deny that?
No, it is.
Spence?
Yeah. Terry calls us the Woodward Fat Boys.
Coquet says, no pressure, kid. They're just already putting you in a gold jacket. And I'm putting Sewell in a gold jacket. I'm certainly doing that. I don't think that's obtuse on my part.
How is saying he's going to be one of the best pass rushers under 25, putting him in a gold jacket? I don't get it. Like, is this so bad that we think the number 2 overall draft pick in the NFL should be good? Is that hard? Like, I don't get it. This guy, he's brought here for a reason.
Like, isn't it like if you go to the rule of thumb, aren't the first 3 picks in each draft supposed to be gold jacket? Aren't those the expectations? Or you wouldn't take? You're supposed to be the best available person in the world, right, Neal? I mean, isn't that the expectations? So, just to see what we got. But here's the one thing: is that there's. And Aaron Donald, I will say, is different because he proved in the last 2 we're a guy that can take over for 2 plays, take over a game defensively and stuff like that, right? But it's a team game, and even to the fact of getting there. So I think the team that's put around him, Hutchinson's been we're gonna see he's been put in a position to succeed, right? That's what you want. You want to give your second overall every opportunity to be that gold jacket guy.
You want to make life as easy as possible for the guy.
And how does it work in life, right? The higher up, the more the more opportunities usually given.
Austin Harris says he'll probably have 5 sacks against Chicago in 2 games this year.
Good.
I don't remember him getting to Justin Fields a ton, right? Like,
it doesn't matter how he gets his sacks.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everybody. I'm joking.
How he gets his
He's gonna
sacks.
rile him up.
No, it doesn't.
No, like, I mean, if he gets 8 of them in 3 games, and then does that matter?
No, not in the pros.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like, when you rack up and have 2 or 3 against Western Michigan, that's built a little differently than some of the other games. I will say that. What?
No,
is that not fact? Okay,
you're gonna rile them
so we have to stop after every sentence. We have to say, is that factually correct? Do you put it on the YouTube poll? Do you value sacks against Ohio State more than you value them against Western Michigan?
Yes.
And we'll get 55% of you say yes, and 45% of you say no.
You're gonna rile up the Michigan slaps. It's stoking the fire.
Rack says, hey, give Rack credit. I'd much rather say he's going to be a Hall of Famer and be wrong than say he's going to suck and be right.
Yes, facts. Thank you.
But here's the thing. Because there it is, because some people wouldn't. Right? They die on the cross that he sucks, and then they hate to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that statement right there. And that's the issue. We should all be grateful that he is a Hall of Famer, that there's a Hall of Famer. I mean, how many Hall of Famers have we had in the past 20 years on this team? You have Barry, you have Calvin. And but he's going to go in as whatever else. But that's it, right?
I think he will be, when it's all said and done.
He's got his chip.
Stafford's a Hall of Famer, but where's he going in as? A Ram? Because he won his Super Bowl there. I'm just saying. Forget about that. But what I'm saying is that
we'd love to hear from you.
When Matt Stafford goes in the Hall of Fame, will it be as a Ram or a Lion? 248.
248.
I can't wait to do that.
Lines are open.
I can't wait till I have a weekend where I'm leaving for a golf trip on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I've already mentally punched out of the show, and I'm just gonna say, is Matt Stafford going in as a Ram or a Lion? And put up the YouTube poll and just sit here and wait for it to be 1 o'clock.
We'd love to hear from you. Lines are open.
I can't wait to do that show. We are going to do calls, by the way, Wednesdays.
Okay.
Second hour of the show. We're going to open it up for everyone to call in and do that kind of stuff. And we'll see. We'll run it, and we'll see if it works, and we'll see if it's good. And if it is, we'll keep rolling with it. Because people have expressed an interest that they want to call the show.
Yeah. If you call the show, don't be an idiot.
Well, you can be an idiot. Sometimes being an idiot is good.
Be a funny idiot.
Yeah, that's fair. You can be Mac. You need idiots,
be respectful.
Right? Yes.
Right. That's
don't be a dick.
We're respectful, but you can have your opinion, and we can argue and all that stuff. We do that. You should see the things behind the scenes, the arguments that go on around in this office, and you should see the stupidity in this office. It's ridiculous, but we get along, and it's done in a respectful manner to agree to disagree. And you're more than welcome to tell Neal exactly. And he just doesn't understand why and we don't understand either why he's got so much hatred towards Michigan, but he does. So please, maybe on Wednesdays you can figure it out for him. Maybe if you're a therapist out there, or you have you've done studies into the annals of the psychology, we can explain how
Neal's deep-rooted hatred
Maybe we'll do that Wednesdays, second hour.
He probably as a child there was a amazing blue blanket that fell on him.
Something that got taken
What
away.
Are we talking about here?
I
have friends that work there.
We're
Good
breaking
friends.
it down. Anyways, Wednesday afternoons. Wednesday, second hour.
And look, I encourage everyone to call in. Everybody, I'll listen. I'm reasonable. I'll listen, except for Jack Harrington. If he calls in to say Mountain West football is not fun to watch, sorry, Neal. That I will hang up on. We will hang up on that
Jack,
instantly.
Jack, the beauty is, whether you're right or you're not, you don't have to worry about it. You just take Neal watches it. You don't have to watch it. He bets on it. He gets you wins in that.
Get you
if
the
you
bag.
like money, then you don't have to watch it. Neal does. So you, if that's the way you feel, do you not understand? He's just going to put money in your pocket, and you don't have to watch it. You can do the rest of the stuff.
That is true.
What we do here.
I think we will need. We do the video content around the clock here at Woodward through the Woodward Twitter account. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do the first Hawaii home game. I'm doing it. I'm releasing a Get Right special. I'm going to check in after every quarter.
Get Right special, Gypsy. Get Right special.
At 3 a.m.
So we can see the glaze.
We're ready to kick the fourth quarter off, everybody. We got Hawaii with the 7.5. They're down 12 right now. If we can get this touchdown and the 2-point conversion, that's critical. That's critical. We're doing it. 100% we're doing that.
That's must-see TV right there.
Absolutely.
We're absolutely going to do it. Hey, Neal Ruhl here for Gypsy Vodka, by the way, which will play a prominent role in the Mountain West Get Right picks this fall, especially when we're out on the deck doing it at the tail end of summer, early fall as well. And hey, you guys know how I feel about Gypsy Vodka. My play is with the club soda and a little bit of lime. But don't forget, too, about the Mulligan. It's the official drink of summer. The Mulligan is made with Gypsy Vodka. If you're out on the golf course, if you're hanging out in the backyard, if you're watching Mountain West football out on the deck, doesn't matter. The Mulligan is calling your name. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course or pick it up at a Total Wine store near you.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know, you've heard about it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. 2 different ways you can do it. They've got $12 open unlimited play where you can stay there all day, open till close, have a great time, or they have private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get your own lane. You can do whatever you want. You can bring in any type of food you want. You get thirsty, they've got a $2 mystery beer vending machine. Pop in $2, pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. Know what you want to make a decision. They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down to Hamtramck and check them out in person at the Foaling Warehouse or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. Again, that is foalingwarehouse.com.
Said the magic words, I guess. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Fish is in the sound booth right now as well. You say Matt Stafford, man, and the people just go crazy. They do. Brandon Katz, Matt Stafford is not a Hall of Famer, and it's not that close. LOL. We'll have that discussion. We got to do that show. We certainly will. This is a comment from the YouTube chat poll. This does not reflect the views of Neal Ruhl, or does it? I don't know. But I'm not the one making the comment, so it doesn't matter. Dr. Dirty D. Nice. Not Neal Ruhl. Dr. Dirty D, the YouTube chat thread. What's Rashawn Gary done? Chase Young was injured and was elite before his injury. That was Dr. Dirty D. That was not Neal Ruhl. I just want everybody to know that. Have I qualified that enough?
Yep.
What has Rashawn Gary done?
Pressured the quarterback at a high rate.
Okay.
I mean, what else do you want out of a edge rusher?
I'm asking Neal, the question for him, not for me.
Jeez, Neal, why don't you give credit
this
to these
isn't
Michigan
me.
guys?
All right, have I made that clear enough to the people?
This is not you.
I'm not. I don't want the hate. I don't need the hate. Okay. I didn't ask the question.
No. But here's the thing. Are you talking about Stafford as a Hall of Famer?
No, I was asking about Rashawn Gary and what's he done. Scott Klingler, Neal, when are we doing this call-in thing? We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it tomorrow, second hour of the show. We'll be joined by Stephen Carroll, captain of Detroit City FC for Detroit City Wednesdays. Big weekend, right? Sacramento coming into town, big time matchup, and we're there. Serious Biz says, "Don't cry, Neal." Don't cry about what? I don't know. I'm just asking. That's all. I was just asking. By the way, did everybody see, in case you didn't, I'm sure a lot of you did, Aaron Donald broke the bank yesterday, D-Mac, and signed a new contract deal with the Rams. He's in the fold now for 3 years, right around 30-ish million per, about 31, 32 million per, the highest paid non-quarterback in football, and deservedly so, right?
Absolutely. Like I was saying before the break, is if those last 2 plays to win the Super Bowl for the Rams didn't show you things, he is a freak of nature. He can do things at a speed from positions that everybody else can't. My question is, Neal, is there a salary cap in football? How does LA keep doing this? They just want to keep.
And I knew
they pretty much go like every time they make a move, and it's not just for a couple million here and there sliding guys in. It's for, here, let's extend them and give them the bag.
Well, okay, and I knew that question. I knew that question was coming, D-Mac. So
right.
I'll give you a taste. Okay. And that question came from D-Mac in Royal Oak. He wants to know.
Yeah.
I thought there was a salary cap in football. So on this year's cap, just to give you some context, Matt Stafford is a $13.5 million cap hit this year. That's how they're doing it. You parlay that with the fact that they never have a first-round pick, so therefore they're never paying a fifth-year option. That's how you do that. That's how they're able to do it. Aaron Donald's their biggest. Even he's only a $24 million cap hit this year.
So how does that work? Like, how do they, just because they have, so they could say, here's 100, but I only have to put 20 on the cap or whatever like this. You only have to, because it's deferred or...
Well, here's a little bit of an idea behind it. So next year, Stafford's a $20 million cap hit. Then the year after, he's a $50 million cap hit. So essentially, everything is backloaded. But the signing bonuses are guaranteed. So even if they do want to get out of it, they will pay the price down the line. But the biggest missed element with what the Rams do financially is they never have first-round picks. So they are never paying. Like 4 years from now.
So they're never having the conversation.
Next year, they're not having the T.J. Hutchinson
$15 million a year, or what? They never have these.
They never have that discussion.
So what? Sorry, my head just went. Is that so for lack of a better term, everybody's dated before they take the girl out. The girl's date. She's not the first time. She's not a virgin.
She's been passed around.
She's not a. She's not a virgin, right? The Rams don't deal.
She's deflowered.
Well, I'm just saying, wherever you want to take this, there, heavyweights. I'm saying that if a first round pick is sort of, or a draft pick to that point, they never, the first round where they cost you, right? They wait till somebody's taken her out on a date to see what her game is, comes back, hears from the boys whether they're going to take her out or go make a deal for it. Then they know, hey, well, she's expensive, but that's okay. They know what they're in for, and they know what they're going to get in return. It's a different way to do it. It's more of a pimp game that they're playing out in the Rams than it is. They're playing listen, so the salary guy, they're playing the pimp game. There's a D-Mac analogy to it.
They're testing the waters.
Whatever, they make it work, Neal. And
they
a different way to do it, I guess.
No shame
but the
on
new
the pimp
NFL.
Game.
What?
No shame on the pimp game.
No shame on the pimp game out there in the Rams. They got the bling bling. Pimp's got the bling bling. Who won last year? Whose game's working? Gosh darn it. You can't just hear Eddie Griffith or, somebody just pimping out on you right now.
And just to give you an example, too, I'll gloss right over that and try to put it back on the rails. Just to give you, and here's D-Mac a further explanation. So 2023, right? Next season. Not this season coming up, next season. The Rams are already $13 million over the cap for 2023.
Right.
They still have to draft. Granted, they don't ever have first-round picks or whatever, but they still have to draft. So
you're allowed to be over where you can just say it, so it's just...
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Nothing happens. It's like just... So there's no repercussions to have to pay a penalty or anything just because you're over for that. We just have to deal with it when we come to it.
When that becomes that year, you have to deal with it.
$20-some million. And then we'll revamp it and move it around again.
And they'll figure out what they're going to do.
Sounds like a big money laundering scheme, too. Pimping and money laundering, allegedly.
Well, and next year, too, for the Rams, Aaron Donald's hit goes up to $38 million. And then you have Jalen Ramsey, whose hit goes up to $25 million. And then Leonard Floyd's hit is $22 million.
So you mentioned eventually it's going to come. Will it come to a fruition, or do they always just get to keep moving money and pushing it back?
Well, I mean, theoretically, you can keep pushing it, right? But I think the window closes essentially in 24. You know, when Stafford's a $50 million cap hit and Aaron Donald's a $31 million cap hit, you know, that's when it starts to close. You know what I'm saying? So they've stretched it out as far as they could, and like what we're going to see in hockey, what are the Edmonton Oilers going to do? Because they have to have a goalie, right? Have to.
So they got to get rid of.
So they got to figure something out.
They got to get rid of probably Nugent Hopkins or Draisaitl or McDavid or one of those two. You know, there's something that has to be done. Yeah, exactly.
And that's where it comes down to.
The Rams have already won, so they're already playing with house money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that goes to show you how much money Kroenke and the Rams have, right? Where this doesn't even matter.
Well, it's not even because it is capped. Like that's not a thing.
But it's capped, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, he's going to have to pay it out. But there's ways around it. So is it really capped?
Yeah. Well, this will warm your heart too. To just to back up on the Ken Holland thing with Nugent Hopkins. Yeah, you would say you'd have to get rid of him, but unfortunately, he's going to be a $5.1 million cap hit till 2029 when he's 35.
So you can't. So
he's immovable.
But no. That entices you. Really? See, you say he's immovable. I'm going. Really? That gives me a number 1, 2, 3 in the league goaltender. The caveat to trade Nugent Hopkins with his deal for a goalie that you need, that's the reverse goal that you need.
But who's going to take that, though, especially for a good keeper?
You saying that's a bad deal?
No, I think so. He's 29 right now. You want to want him when he's 30? You want him making $5 million when he's 35? Ryan Nugent Hopkins? I see a lot of friends Nielsen in that.
Here's the thing where you're not looking at it. I'm trying to look at it. What is the max deal? It's $12 million. So Ryan Nugent Hopkins is your Dylan Larkin, right? As far as the two, maybe not, but I'm saying that $5 million player as your second line center that can play off. He's the great player. He's the guy that gets lost in the mix there, and it's not because of him, but he needs a support staff. What I'm saying is that he could be the piece, yes, that somebody would pay $5 million because they need a number 2 that had an extra goalie. That's where you get your goalie from. Because in the NHL, where the top guys are going to make $12 million, him at 5 in the NHL with what I know about how yes, he's a great $5 million player as your second line, do everything sort of guy. He's not
right. But my point is, anybody that's trading a goalie, if you're trading a goalie that's a good goalie, you're not looking to take on a good number 2 center. You see what I'm saying? Like if you go across the board in generalities.
But what I'm saying
especially
is you're
$25 million.
But that necessarily because I disagree because it's sort of changed. Because that could be if it means that you're not going to get rid of your one and only goalie, but it's for the teams that have a couple guys or that guy coming in the system right down the way that you could get for him for that value that could be that number 1. I think that there's value there because he's locked in, because the salary cap goes up, because the McDavids or the Draisaitl's that you trade for are making the max. All these guys, the McKinnons, are making the max. That's all.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you about the sports.
I think that I wouldn't be surprised.
Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse disorder. They have a new podcast entitled This is the F Word that helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions that, let's be real, are plaguing our community in today's day and age. If you're struggling, if you know someone who's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, that's thesportsma.com. It's a sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the number one site for all your game day bets, where you can begin your handicapping journey at oddstrader.com. You get play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking. And to do it, all you have to do is download the OddsTrader app from your app store today. Get you the best price on every game. Repeat, that's the most important part of all this. They will find you the best price for every game that you want to wager on. They'll also monitor all the sign-up offers from the multiple sports books as well at oddstrader.com. Player stats, key game stats are all available at oddstrader.com. Coming down the stretch, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here in the house, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Epic in our YouTube chat thread says, like how we got Ned. I mean, yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. I don't see.
Well, in that sort of way, but there's also too these guys that are that he could be a piece. It depends on which team it's going to. Let's just agree that who cares? It's Edmonton. They got to do something. They've had too many first round picks. They should have made it work by now. And how you don't have a goaltender with all those selections, and that's your miss. It just goes to show you, again, they prove number one thing you need to win is goaltending. Last thing, what's the Vasilevsky shutout tonight? I'd be interested in seeing what that is. Might want to put that on the board. I got Tampa tonight.
Can I get a quick blasphemous chat comment? So D. Smitty says, Stafford is 5th all-time quarterback rank in front of Dan Marino and Brett Favre, both Hall of Fame, one of which does not have a Super Bowl ring. Stafford is a shoo-in.
Stafford,
100%.
Stop this talk because he's going to get in because of his yardage and he's got his Super Bowl. So end of story.
He's not
because
better
you
than
already
Marino or
said.
Favre,
We
though.
talked about this years ago. Last year. Did we not talk about this last year? The fact that if he wins this Super Bowl, then all the argument to whether he is or he isn't, he's in. It's the fact of what he's going in as. Now he's going to go in as a Ram because that's where he's won. And he shoved a T-Mobile or a Verizon commercial up your butt, right, about changing his phone or whatever like this, jokes on you. Like, so he's going into the Hall of Fame. There's no argument about it to the fact, yes, there it is. But bring this up, and you know what? Beatles broke up. Do you know that? Like, I mean, holy cow. It's the end of story. There's not even a conversation. It's a joke to have even this conversation. Move it.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Tuesday.
He's not better than
Taco
Marino
Day.
and Favre, though.
Matty, those gosh darn tacos better be there. It's Taco Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
One by one, everybody that listens, works, is affiliated with this show, with this network, one by one, within the course of 30 minutes.
AT&T, yeah. Up here. What do I care?
One by one.
Garbage over here.
Everybody affiliated with Big D Energy has cracked on the Matt Stafford thing.
Yeah.
In one day, just on a random Tuesday during the summer. Can you wait? Can you wait until we run this back? And guys, it's happening. I know that people have their thoughts about the frequency of the Matt Stafford topics. I know that you guys do. And you expressed it last year when we kept talking about it. But any of you that have ever watched this show, listened to it, you guys know, if you're familiar with digital sports media or sports talk, you know we're running this one time during the summer. And guess what?
It's going to blow up.
It'll be explosive.
Oh, yeah. Thousands and thousands of views.
Look at everybody.
Yeah, they're still talking about it. You said like one sentence on it. The chat's been going at it for an hour now.
D-Mac cracked.
D-Mac popped. That was awesome.
And he knows it, too. Look at him. He's ready to walk out of here. Look, he's packing up his stuff.
I had to put it to I'm going to sit over here. I got to relax a little bit, too, because it's like, come on, man. It's a Tuesday.
He's packing up. It's quarter to the hour. He's packing up. He's had enough. It's over for him.
Look at you happy with yourself.
What did I do?
Hey, who started the conversation?
Neal.
That's what I'm saying. Do you see how? Hey, guys, listen. This is cerebral heel Neal. Yeah. Heel Neal is showing you all the different parts of his arsenal. Yeah. This is sort of like the arsenic out of the arsenal. He just seeped it out. It's like psh, and let it steam. Now, usually I know when to put my gas mask on, this and that. Figured 25th anniversary, it's my day and stuff like this, but no. Gotta get snappy. I'll lead it off with that. Anyways. Can we talk about money or like real money going around? Can we talk about something that maybe we can actually?
No, I'm pretty sure we missed a boat. We're going to have to push that one till tomorrow. Wow. I'm just kind of flipping through the chat right now. Is my wife here or something? Like, how is this my fault?
Yes.
Can we break this down for a minute? Sam Flannel, you're an independent arbitrator in this situation. For once, you're not involved, saying Ben Wallace is not a Hall of Famer. What's my level? What's my level of guilt here?
Sacrilegious the comment he made, and it's just sliding right out.
Yeah.
Greg said, "Okay, dude, over the line." I gave him a little scolding, but we move on to you. Heel, you're a true heel. You're a
what did I do
to the people? You're not trying to be, but what I'm saying, you're the people's heel. Like, I'm the people's champ. You're the people's heel. They won't let you not get it, but I mean, I guess.
Sam Flannel, peg a number in percentage. What is my percentage of guilt towards what's happened here? I feel as though it's 0.
150.
I would say 50 because Matthew Stafford might be the biggest pariah in this city. Some people like him. Some people, polarizing is a better word. Some people like him. Some people rooted for him. Some people are like, oh my goodness, our quarterback couldn't win anything here. And then he goes to the Rams. If you bring up Matthew Stafford, people are going to talk. It's just how it is. And the chat has really ran with this, as Spencer said.
So my question to you, as Neal, being the professional that he is, do you expect Neal to already have known that Matt Stafford is polarizing in this city, right?
Yeah, I actually.
So when Neal, you would say that the responsibility, because Neal's such a professional, that when he brings it out, it's more calculated than it was a slip of the tongue. So hence, shouldn't your 50% be more like 75 or 80?
Jack Harrington says 60%. Chuck Brewer says 80%. I literally said a sentence that somebody else said. I read a chat text.
Wow, we're getting so the messenger. You're the messenger of the people, and you're taking the brunt of it, right? Because you were just reading what somebody said, so trying to be the messenger. So right now they're shooting the messenger, right? I'm just letting the people know that they've created this. This is what they wanted, and you've given what they wanted, but then you're the bad guy. How does that happen, Neal? I feel so bad for you. Heel Neal. True heel. Yeah, exactly. Look at him. Doesn't even know. Anyways, 80%. We got an 80. We got a 69. Ryan's reaction, 69%. Maybe more to your liking. Maybe more to your liking. Yeah, that's cool.
No,
cool, bro.
Is it 1 yet? Is it 1 o'clock yet?
Don't worry. I posted I just made the poll, so we'll figure out how much is your fault.
There you go.
How much is? I wonder what that one's gonna. I didn't do anything. You know what? I don't even. Somebody said talk hockey. Why?
No,
why the lightning shutout today?
What, I'll do
Here,
you
I'll
better.
find the line. You talk hockey.
I'll
find the line.
We got. Oh yeah, there you go. Find the line,
Yeah.
whatever like this. But guys, here. First of all, more important things. Look at the strutter. Adam Badoon struts in here because he sees turmoil. He sees turmoil. He smells turmoil going on. He must come in. But before I let you know, and we get to the Ask D-Max section, as you know, or whether you do or you don't, we broadcast live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in wonderful downtown Birmingham, Michigan. Definitely awesome to get off the air. and to get in to see one of the beautiful stylists to look fine. You too can also do that with 168 across this great country. Any Lady Jane's, you walk in, you sign in, you sit down before you know it. Bing, bang, boom. King's Treatment, you're looking good as new. Ready to take on the day. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, wherever you go. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Heel Neal, D-Mac, Woodward Sports Network when we come back.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Mercifully, the final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter here in the building. To update you, D-Mac, the Rangers 6.5 to 1. If you want to take the shutout, 6.5 to 1.
No, so 650.
Yep.
Plus 650.
Plus 650.
Vasilevsky with the shutout. Ooh, Adam, you like that one? Yeah, exactly. I think to go with it. That's the one.
You think he's gonna have the 120 pitch count
certain
tonight?
Games when like that. So when you play it out, and it's like storyline, and you've seen it a lot of different times in a game. If you watched the game last night with the Edmonton Colorado, you knew that even though Edmonton was up 2-3 goals, Colorado was still in the game, and you could feel the momentum come. It's the same way. Right, with this Tampa Bay team that the Rangers up 2-0 the other day. It's that make or break. And it's not next goal. It's just what does Tampa do? We saw it earlier in the season, earlier in the series where Tampa fighting from behind in New York and not get there. But that's why there's got something left. And if I am correct, which D-Mac is right, goaltending is where it starts. And this is where if Andre Vasilevsky, in sort of to the vein of what Dominic Hasek did back in 2002, going into Colorado and shutting them out and then coming home and shutting them out in Game 7 for us to move on. This is when your goaltender, if he's one of the greatest in the world, and should be on that Mount Rushmore, will come out with this performance, right? Here's the small caveat behind this. Ilya Shesterkin, who's the Rangers goalie, which is the Russian goalie, right? Andre Vasilevsky is his idol growing up. Obviously, so there's this Jedi, there's Obi-Wan, Anakin Skywalker thing going on there in the goal. No better time than now, being at home, coming off of the comeback win. It's just when you find if this guy is to be on Mount Rushmore as a goaltender, you'll see it in the performance tonight. So at plus 650. Throw $1 in there, or throw it in there in your parlay or whatever. It just feels like this is going to be one of those dominated Tampa games, and it's going to be dominated by the goalie. Remember, this is the same guy that shut out like 49 saves. You know what I mean? This is going to be one of those games. It's not going to be like a 23-shot shutout game. He's going to be peppered, but I think this is where he steps to the forefront. And to your point, you see who's starting to heat up? See who's starting to heat up for your boys, right? Kucherov, giving it care.
My guy.
He's caring, right? Both these guys, they care. So they can't afford to lose. They know this because of the way the Rangers have played in New York, and to go and win, they can win one in New York, whether it's Game 5 or 7. I can guarantee you that. To win 2 the way the Rangers are playing, no, that's why they need tonight.
On the YouTube channel chat thread, YT Sparty says, we'll talk MSU recruiting then. I tried that. I said that they can't recruit on the level of Georgia, and then the Inside the Locker Room podcast took that and ran with it, and Michigan State fans jumped all over me on social media or whatever. But on a side note, we were talking about the bag. Ryan Day came out and told the Ohio State football community it's going to take about $13 million to keep that level of football team together. So let that sink in for a minute, guys. These guys, nice, Ryan Day, Nick Saban, all these guys, they're doing a call to arms when they talk about that. That's what they make no mistake.
So the call to arms is we're hearing about it. The call to arms that used to be, off the microphone. That's what NIL's delivered, but all these they realize that. Again,
you talk about calculating and stuff like that and speaking with intent. Nick Saban and Ryan Day are speaking with intent. And they're not saying it directly.
Here's the whole thing. When Ryan Dace, because of, in my opinion, just because where he's at, and obviously his next step is the NFL, and just for what he's done with that program, he doesn't come to you like angry old guy with the history like Saban has of different places, Michigan State, LSU, or whatever. So to me, when it comes out of Ohio State, it comes out of Ryan Day, like it or not, it means a little bit more.
Francis Garcia says, and if you got a question for DMAC, by the way, final couple minutes of the show, feel free to fire away. We'll have a speed version of that. Francis Garcia says Sparty needs about $13 million a year to start competing. And, it's just, this is where we're at now. You can complain about it. You can say it's not fair, but make no mistake, this is where we are.
Listen, just figure out what game's being played and try to play it to the best of your ability until it's your turn to choose a game.
And Sparty says Michigan State just landed 4-star cornerback from Texas. And we were talking about that during the break. And there's one.
Yeah.
People remember how Georgia had over half their class drafted last year?
Mm-hmm.
Was it the 2018 class?
And 4 stars don't compete with Georgia. You need 5 stars. I love it. It's a great signing
get.
for us.
100% great get.
But
that's one.
It's one. You need 12 more of those guys.
That's where it is. And it's proven out to be that way. Jack Harrington wants to know, because he always asks this question, and Adam's actually in the building too. Who would win an Oklahoma drill, Adam Beydoun or Neal Ruhl?
He stole that from Mike G.
Okay.
What's the Oklahoma drill?
Oklahoma is, so you'll have a guy running the ball.
Is it a drinking game?
No, it's a tackling. I got Neal. Thing. It's a football drill. You've
drinking and tackling? So it's a bar game. It's a bar fight game in Oklahoma. We're giving it to Neal. Is there drinking involved?
There is no.
It's Neal. If there's drinking involved, I give it to Neal. If
Adam said that I would win
If it's drop the cocaine, I give it to Adam. If there's ice involved, then I'll jump in. Then it's me. There you go.
Yeah. Ryan's reaction says I got my money on Neal. Adam Beydoun also said that he has money on me as well. Adam and I would probably we're more the business type. We would probably fix the lines.
Adam's that's what I said. It's going to end up over cocktails.
Yeah, and that's I think that's where we would end up with that. But again, final couple seconds of the show, and people really wanted that Oklahoma drill question asked. So hey, we asked it. That's what DMAC said. What's an Oklahoma drill? Really, D-Mac? Okay.
My hockey guy.
Yeah, he doesn't play football. He's from Canada.
Ask the Oklahoma guys if they know what hockey is, all right? It goes both ways. We respect each other. Duh. I'm willing to learn. That's not a rugby term.
Ask the Oklahoma guys if they know what hockey is.
Oh, man. Rack.
I'm not far off.
Rack, ask D-Mac, whose mind games are better, Neal or Seth Rollins?
Well, Neal's are more cerebral. Seth lets you know, because of his outfits. And dude, if you didn't see Hell in a Cell the other night, comes out with the
Dusty Rhodes, that was pretty funny.
All that stuff. I love that cerebralness, but we both can respect the mind of Seth Rollins.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Tomorrow we'll get into the golf thing, among other things on a Wednesday. Don't forget Stephen Carroll, captain of Detroit City FC, will join us around 11:14. So for DMAC, for Sam Flannel, for Spencer Raxter, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.